Alright, today we're going to talk about the Verizon home phone. Okay, Verizon makes home internet, home phone, cell phone, tablet line, tablet data line, whatever. And a lot of carrier like Verizon, they create a box like this. Those devices call basically SIM card to voice, right? Using the RJ11. And this device is basically a review. If you're thinking about this device for your grandparent or whatever, some people still use the landline, not a problem, nothing wrong with it. But I'm just gonna quickly talk about these things. In front of me, I have mobile carrier, all three major carrier that you're familiar with it. Okay, so we got T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. Okay, so those are testing purpose, right? You might wonder, why do I have so many lines? But anyway, long story short, what we're gonna get into today is talk about this device. What did you think before you purchased? I do not see a lot of review about this device before I purchased it. And I really want to make sure you guys understand what you're purchasing. And there is already a decent video on how to set it up, right? It's pretty simple. Plug in the power, and then you have a phone jack. It doesn't matter which one. One could be to your phone, another one could be a fax, or it could be both phone. Doesn't matter. Okay. And over here on the bottom, you have batteries. Okay. So here's your batteries, and here's your SIM card. So the SIM card is right here. Most of the time, you won't need it to remove it, but it's good to know how to if in the event of you need to. Okay, so the SIM card really doesn't come along play, and unless you purchase the device outright and you're fully be able to unlock it, that's when you need it. Okay, so let's talk about the device Pro, and dependent who you ask. Okay, so this has a display, as you can see, right? So the display is pretty bright. Now I know it's on the phone, and it's really just one button operation, very easy. And what I don't understand is why does the light not stay solid, but that's neither here or there. So you can see they're missing date, just the time, okay? And it tells you the batteries is charged, okay? So anyhow, and that being said, you can see clearly the Verizon logo right here on the top corner, okay? And over here, you do have the Verizon logo promptly displayed in the power and all that stuff, okay? So anyway, also your IMEI number is plastered everywhere on the device, and make sure you don't lose it, apparently. Now, let's talk about the caller ID. Right? That's the I don't like about. So the caller ID show up here, but does not show up here. Okay. So it's really important you need to have a caller ID show up there, and instead of not showing up on your wireless handset. So if you have a receiver, like a phone that's wireless, you want to be able to see who's calling. Was I had to come to this box to see the caller ID. That is currently not available. So caller ID is not even working for this particular unit. Now, that being said, this device really have nothing to look out for other than it's a device that able to allow you to look at history, who called and missed call. And most of the time, you're going to use this device for whatever, okay? So, not whatever. So, most of the time, you're going to use this device as your main screen. And I think it's harder to explain to your grandparent how the thing works. And I don't really recommend this unit to be deployed to a elderly unless you want to be the one to manage it, okay? Not in a hateful way, but I'm just being honest. So if you ever want to to see call history, you have to tap twice to see those caller ID. Okay, and these caller ID are pretty bright. It is not anything to like snooze about. Okay. Also, people with whatever they call it, the finger that move very fast and tremble, whatever you call it. Anyway, it will not help them at all, because sometimes people, you teach them how to click, that you want them to double click something, they don't understand, or they understand, but their coordination is not there. So, I mean, I truly think this home phone could be designed a little bit better than this stupid thing. Okay. The other thing is, since this device able to do fax, battery backup, you are able to use for 911 even if the power is out. Now keep in mind the display will go off when it's on power backup, okay? To save batteries, okay? Now, that being said, over here we have uncomparable device right here. I want to give you a solution and not just tell you something. Okay? This device over here has much better interface, much better information. Okay? It does allows you to have a caller ID on your display. You know, make it bigger, whatever. If you have a disability phone like I do, over here, it's definitely great to have that functionality and be able to do that. Now, I do understand this thing is clunky. Okay, I get it. But this able to mount it and forget about it. You can stick this outside, or not really directly outside. If you don't have a signal inside, this will be a great outside device. Okay, so if you find a carrier that's cheaper, you're not tied to a carrier that came from there, because if you find this unlocked on eBay or whatever, those generally are unlocked device. You can stick AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, okay? And I tested for myself, and I know it works, okay? And matter of fact, taking the SIM card out of here and stick it in there. It does take longer for this to calibrate, but it does work, okay? So do keep in mind. So if this device is something that you don't like, you can always just like make sure you tell Verizon rep you want to bring your own device. If they shove a thing against you and tell you, well, you had to get it, then tell them, no, I don't, because your products suck. And there is home phone through US Mobile. That's great. You can also get it through Tello. Those are also cheap carrier. So anyway, options are endless, because this plan, I'm talking Verizon unlimited home phone, is $20. After taxes, we're looking around approximately $35 in Columbus, Ohio. Okay, so that is really, really high phone. And I'm doing this is to show you what I don't like about and why I think you should choose a cheaper carrier over the main carrier. You pay more, get less. And don't get me wrong, for people that are setting up this for your grandparent, you are excellent. You know, you understand this, because eventually we're in the we're 90s kids, so we understand these things quicker. But one day we are not able to do the same thing. So for that, you helping your kids can help you the same way that you helped your parent. So anyway, that being said, hopefully this video is helpful, not too long. And if you have any question, leave me down the comment below. Whether it's comment positive or negative, I'll take it regardless. That's interaction. I can count. So anyway, MOXEE, those are the brand. And if you buy from US Mobile, they're gonna make you buy this device anyway. So just buy it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.